My name is Heather, and today we're going to be doing something just a little bit different. Um, as I go along with my painting, I'm basically going to be experimenting with gouache, which I have never in my life messed with before. On one hand, some people say that this is like the easiest and most forgiving paint ever. And then on the other side, another group says that this is some of the hardest paint to work with. So I'm kind of excited to try it either way. Now, I'm not some fancy rich artist. I got kind of the mid-grade range. I got the brand Meeden, and it is a traditional gouache. The difference between traditional and acrylic gouache is one dries more like acrylic, where the traditional, you can re-wet it and continue to paint with it. It's like a watercolor. So we'll see how this one goes. I already got some ideas of what I'm going to paint. Also, furthermore, I got a brand new miniature brush set, which I am completely stoked to try. Now, when I say miniatures, I don't mean they're tiny brushes. I mean, these are made for doing miniatures and sculpting. And I've been to a handful of specialty art stores and even a big box art store. Nobody has these sets. You have to order them. So I've ordered me a set. They're here now, and I'm going to be experimenting with my gouache with these brushes. All right, here's the paints. So I've already taken the plastic off this, but I haven't opened anything yet. And as you see, it's a 48. We have a lot of colors here, cute little tubes, and we have more underneath this thing, as you see. There's a lot. So I got a lot to choose from when it comes to colors, so we'll play with that. I'm really excited. These are decent sized tubes here. So see if I can get it to focus. But yeah, let's see what happens here. Brilliant colors. That is my Meeden set. And squeezer side here. And these are the miniature brushes. This brand is Artify. You can see there's 20 of them. It tells you here, miniatures, models for acrylic, watercolor, and craft. So gouache is kind of somewhere in between all that. Should be fine. I've read you should take care of these brushes. Don't let them sit in the water and all that fun stuff. They even have a little bit of a description on how to take care of them. What's inside here, the spotter brushes, the dagger. It's got basically all your typical brushes, but smaller. So what you get is this adorable little case here. You can kind of see Artify. These had some really good reviews on Amazon, so I'm excited. And look at that beautiful wooden base. So it doesn't slip. See if I can get one of these out there tight. It's got a nice grip on it. Still the 20 0, but real fine. All of them's in great shape. I have no problems with them. So it's a beautiful brush. Look at that. So pretty. No, focus. Sorry. There we go. Yeah. All right, let's play.
So far, with the Artify miniature brushes, I absolutely adore them. I mainly have used one brush through this entire painting, and it is not even the smallest brush. The grip and control on these brushes are fabulous, and even for the one brush, it has already improved my strokes with each little individual detail I have added. I love them. That's all I gotta say. These are absolutely worth what I paid for them. Gouache. I will say at this point, it is not one of my favorite mediums. Maybe it is because I used a multimedia paper instead of a cold pressed watercolor. Or maybe I just don't know what I'm doing. I felt like it was more difficult to manipulate the colors into what I was desiring. This medium would work well for someone who has more of a manga or cartoon art style. Either way, I do not hate my work, but I certainly could have really brought it out with some of the other mediums I've used. I struggled with mixing and overlaying, and some of the areas look a little immature compared to some of my other work. I'll sit on this, but I have learned for now I'm not really crazy about gouache, so I'll revisit it later when I have some more confidence with it. Overall, this was a fun little experiment. And it turned out alright for just playing with a new medium. What is your favorite medium? When it comes to gouache, I like watercolor better. When it comes to a review for it, at least. And I will say I'm not crazy over this multi-medium paper I just got either. It did okay, but I definitely was missing the actual watercolor paper. It felt weird painting on it, and I had to lay a book on it to make sure the painting flattened back out each time. So, yeah, that was my bad. Anyhow, thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day. And if you've enjoyed this, please consider liking and subscribing. It is a free way to help my channel after all. Okie dokie, talk again soon. One last little review, just to add a third review to this. Like I said, this was the first time I've ever used this book, and it's a mixed media, and this is what I did my gouache painting in here. And as you can see, this mixed media one here is good for all of these, so that's why I used this book. And I have used Be Inspired before and really have liked their stuff, so. And like I said, it wasn't terrible. You can kind of see here in the sunshine how it, even though I've laid some heavy objects on it and tried to flatten it out, it is a little ruffled on the paper. So I do wonder how this would have turned out if I had tried it on watercolor paper. But now that it's been a day or so and I've come back to it, I will say I am a little more satisfied with the results of how this fully dried painting has turned out. I still feel like it's a little cartoony. I did not want to really outline him, but that was the only way I could make him come out in this one. I just didn't get the background dark enough, but I kind of was going for a slightly realistic look and didn't quite make it. Still looks pretty good, but this is where we're at here. Excuse my cat. She is crying because of the fact that I'm talking, and she both loves it and hates it. Don't you, Maki? You're mocking me, right? Is that what we're doing? No, I'm looking at you. You're not going to scream. Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. You are now on camera. You are a part of this video. You're a part of it. You're a part of it. You're a booger. Congratulations. See what you've done now. But anyway, that is my review for the book as well. So I'm not really sure about using paints on it. Like I said, it didn't do terrible. Here, I'll even show you guys the back page. It did not bleed through, surprisingly. I was really expecting it to bleed through. You can tell a little bit of the wet might have caused some crease, but it's not really damaged. I can use that page still. But I was actually expecting it to bleed through pretty bad, because I soaked this page to kind of give it that watercolor feel. And I will say also, on a more positive side of the gouache, is the colors are actually quite a bit more vibrant. I wasn't really convinced at first, but they are quite a bit. But in turn, because of the way they are, they don't quite mix as well whenever you're painting them. But yeah, I'm still pretty happy with it. This is some of my favorite parts here in the front. I liked how my little flowers and stuff turned out. But I'll try again. I have more ideas. I've seen people use watercolor and then use gouache over top of it. And I'll give this a second try. I mean, the paints were pretty easy to work with themselves, other than trying to learn how to mix and go. I'm not really crazy about the white. It's an off-white. You can see it a little more clearly compared to the paper color versus the background here. But the whole thing did turn out pretty good, so let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Bye!